In this video, we will discuss rational exponents and radicals. We will define index, radicand, and radical sign. We will write rational exponents to radical and vice versa.
Stay tuned.
Ten multiplied by itself is shortened by laws of exponents as 10 squared equals 100. Now let us reverse the process. We have here 100 and we will try to find the number multiplied by itself to produce 100.
This is done by making the power of 100 a 1/2 or a rational exponent.
But we know 10 squared is 100, so 100 to the power 1/2 is 10. Here is a radical sign. Placing 100 under a radical sign is denoting that we will extracting the root of 100.
In this case, square root with 2 as index and 1 as power, but this is not needed for square root.
Radical sign with no index and power is considered square root.
Any number a whose nth power n is any positive integer is equal to b if it satisfies the equation a to the exponent or power n equals b is called an nth root of b.
Example 5 cube is equal to 125. Here a is 5, n is 3 or cube, and b is 125.
Reversing, the cube root of 125 is 5.
Using a radical sign, we place 125 under the radical sign with 3 or cube as index, and we know that the cube root of 125 is 5.
The radical sign, or radical symbol, is a symbol for the square root or higher order root of a number.
4 multiplied in 3 times is shortened as 4 to the power 3 or cube is equal to 64. Then 64 to the power 1/3 is equal to 4.
Placing 64 under a radical sign, the index is 3 or cube with power 1, but power 1 is not needed, is equal to 4.
We have here exponential format and radical format.
For exponential, 64 to the power 1/3.
In radical format, 64 under the radical sign with index 3 or cube.
In exponential format, a to the power m over n is equal to a under a radical sign with index n and power m. In radical format, you can find n as index, the radical sign, a, the radicand, and m, the power of the radicand. These are what you will find under a radical, but with no index. It is considered square root. Index tells what root is being taken.
It may be square root, cube root, or nth root. It depends on the index that you will see.
Radicand is the value or expression of which we are taking a root. This is under the radical sign.
In our examples, we have 100, 125, and 64 as radicand.
Radical sign, the sign placed before an expression to denote that the square root is to be extracted or that the root marked by an index.
Let us have examples how to write rational exponents to radicals.
25 to the power 1/2. In radical, place 25 under the radical sign.
There is an index 2 and power 1, but these are not needed. Radical sign only means square root.
10y to the power 2 over 3. In radical, you have to place 10y under the radical with index 3 and power 2. Now both index and power are seen.
X plus y to the power 5 over 4. In radical, place x plus y under the radical sign with 4 as index and 5 as power.
Here notice that the denominators of the rational exponents become the index of the radical, with the numerators become the power. Doing the opposite, we will write radicals to exponent form.
125 under the radical sign with index 3 or cube is the same as 125 to the power 1/3.
X minus y under a radical sign with 5 as index
and power 6 is the same as quantity x minus y to the power 6/5 or 6 over 5.
Here the index becomes the denominator while the power becomes the numerator.